E3 was a thing that happened, so I'm making a video about it to look through all the press conferences and poke fun at all of them. And by all the press conferences, I mean the ones I could actually be bothered to watch. Not gonna lie, I couldn't be asked to stay up until 2 in the morning to watch this one, so I caught up on the highlights in the morning, and I gotta say they did a pretty good job with it. I wasn't even looking forward to Fallout 4 before, and now, I kinda want it. I want to make my own city with cunt written in neon signs outside of it, what can I say? I am a bit confused as to why out of all the things they revealed, the fact you can play as a female got the most applause out of all of it. You know, that thing you could do since the very first game? But whatever. The graphics are, well, they're there. I know we all gave Call of Duty Ghosts some shit when it showed its dog model, but I mean, oh yeah, they showed Doom 4. Alright guys, Doom is a fast-paced action FPS, so for the presentation we have to play it as slow as possible to make it look as boring as it possibly can. Apart from that though, I guess it looked alright. Not a massive fan of how it's less colourful than Darkness itself, but I guess it looks fun? Maybe? Hello, my name is Phil Spencer. We don't know what to do with Rare, so here's a compilation of 30 of their games until we figure it out. Oh balls, that's right, they're making a pirate game. Everyone wants that, right? I'll leave now. Rejoice, Xbox fans, because at last, the Xbox One is backwards compatible with Xbox 360 games. Let's just ignore the fact that the Wii U has been backwards compatible since day one, as was the original PS3 and the PS2. Woo! Xbox 360 games, people! That's right, soon you will be able to play the entire 18 games currently support. I'm sorry. I can't even finish that. Holy crap, what a joke. Hi, I'm Todd Howard, and this is Fallout 4. Now, I know that we already showed this today, but to be honest, I only really came here to say that there's mods for it now on Xbox, so I hope you all like the millions of sex mods that will no doubt be made for it. I know I will. His name's Steve Gaynor. While I was watching EA's press conference, I must have forgotten what E3 was all about. See, I always thought it was about video games, but seeing that EA gave an old footballer more time on stage than most of their individual games were, apparently I was sorely mistaken. Listen here, EA, no one in that crowd, or watching at home, could give two flying shits about sports. Yes, it's all very well and good that Messi now has 2 more strands of hair, but we came here to see new and exciting video games, not the next in a series that has 36 games that are all literally exactly the same. However, as bad as all that was, the worst part was probably when they spent what felt like an eternity talking about some crappy mobile game that no one cared about. Who was it who thought it was a good idea to announce what is basically a reskinned Farmville at the biggest gaming event of the year? Alright guys, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Star Wars! The Old Republic. Haha, didn't see that one coming, did ya? Oh, please play it. Alright, so for this new expansion pack, we really wanted to expand the Star Wars universe. So here are the main characters. As you can see, they are Starkiller and Starkiller from The Force Unleashed, and yeah, I'm sorry, I'll be leaving the stage now. Mirror's Edge Revelations looked kinda cool. They didn't ruin it. Yet. Boy, guess they sure showed me. And Star Wars Battlefield Front looks suspiciously like Battlefield 4 if you catch my drift. In any case, the trailer was more scripted than an actual Star Wars film, so I'll wait a bit longer before passing my judgment. Probably the best part of the conference was when this guy came on stage to talk about his game Unraveled. He started off looking really awkward and it was kinda cringy, but as he started talking, you begin to notice it was because he was just so excited to be sharing his creation with the world. It was actually pretty sweet. He was visibly shaking with excitement as he revealed the hand-stitched character he made. I'll probably keep an eye on it. Ubisoft once again tried to make itself look hip and cool, and as usual failed completely. It started off pretty well with the announcement of South Park: The Fractured But Whole, which is quite possibly the greatest subtitle to a video game ever, but it all came tumbling down when Aisha Tyler walked on stage and no, seriously, who the hell finds her funny? Literally anybody else would have been a better presenter than her. She manages to suck out all of the fun and hype these conferences are supposed to have just by opening her mouth. Where's Mr. Caffeine when you need him? You know, you've really got to hand it to Tom Clancy. Normally when people die they just stop making stuff, but you got to admire his dedication when he's making 3 games that were all shown at this presentation. Either that or Ubisoft are raping his name dry. Yeah, probably that last one, come to think of it. And speaking of rape, Just Dance. As in, we are going to rape this press conference and destroy any chance of it redeeming itself. This is not video game. This is live concert, but not a video game.
You're actually sitting here and you are your own human life-size meme.
It was very hard to make it through Sony's press conference without noticing how freaking smug they were. If someone were this smug in real life, you'd want to punch them, but then again you can't exactly blame them. After all, they managed to blow the fuck out of Microsoft the past 2 years, and this year they showed everyone who was boss by having what was probably the best conference out of all of them. It was non-stop video games, and seeing that this is a conference all about video games perhaps is a bit sad that the fact that they only talked about video games is considered praise, where it should be the bare minimum, but I digress. I can't be the only one freaked out by the feathers in this, right? It looks more like jelly to me, it just jiggles so much. Sony had some, I guess you could say, large reveals. Nothing much, you know, just a remake of Final Fantasy VII, yeah, no biggie. I would really like to be excited for this because Final Fantasy VII was my first ever RPG, but at the same time I can't help but get the feeling they're gonna mess it up somehow. Square Enix after all is the company that decided releasing Final Fantasy All the Bravest was a good idea. I am glad to announce a Shenmue free Kickstarter. Oh yeah, and then they counted down to reveal the logo again. They even got Suzuki Swift to go on stage with them, so it was a bit weird. Oh yeah, there's a new Call of Duty game coming out. It looks like Advanced Warfare. That's pretty much all there is to say, really. It looks like Advanced Warfare, but now you can have 3 random twats running about with you in the campaign like you could in World at War. So basically, the big feature they were showing off was actually already done 8 years ago. Okay, cool, thanks. Nintendo's E3 presentation was different, as usual. It was probably the most entertaining one to watch because unlike Ubisoft, they actually know what comedy is. But they also didn't really show all that much. There was a really interesting part about the development of the original Super Mario Bros., but at the same time I wonder why it was shown at E3. The show is dedicated to showing new video games, not 30-year-old pieces of paper. I guess it was kind of related to Super Mario Maker, which dominated their E3 conference like a fat person dominates a buffet table, but when creating Kirby's Epic Woolly World and Knuckles, I started making some plushy Yoshis for fun, and then we decided to make them into Amiibo. Take a good look at this table, because this is the entire stock of Amiibo we are shipping out to retailers. Good luck getting this one, you filthy gaijins. Star Fox Ground Zeroes looks pretty neat. The new Mario & Luigi looks pretty neat. The new Metroid looks like... what the fuck is this shit? It would have been nice to see more. They spent a really long time talking about Amiibos that most people will never get a chance to get because apparently they're rarer than fricking Atlantis. There was a really cringy part at the end where a bunch of mongs dressed up as Mario doing... stuff? I'm not really sure, to be honest. As with last year, the Nintendo Treehouse pretty much redeemed the actual event by showing loads of gameplay from games they didn't even show in the conference. I think the best one was Fast Racing Neo, which looks frickin' beautiful, and will satisfy an itch until Nintendo or Sony decide they can be asked to make another F-Zero or Wipeout game. So basically never. Oh. And so that was E3. And that was a terrible outro.